So here they are, guys. These are the free jet skis we got. I actually got them back in June. This one's the GP 1200R. It's a 2002 model. And this is a XL 760 2-cylinder 99 model. The skis themselves are in very good shape. They're not cracked or beat up anywhere. Like, the hulls are really, really good. Trailer's in really good shape. Just needs new tires. It's a little dry rotted. And you know, just other basic stuff. Like, I'm gonna recover the seats. I'm gonna make these things look really nice. They still got to be cleaned up some. I pressure washed them once already, but we can get the Works toilet bowl cleaner. We'll take all that stuff off. Same thing with that one over there. And you know, maybe even get new graphics for them and everything like that, as long as we can get them running good. And this one here, the 1200 is actually like a 70-mile-per-hour ski from what I've looked online, from the factory. So this thing rips. And this one was left out in the open the whole time, and then this one here was kept under cover, so it's in way better shape as far as engine wise and the hull itself. But the GP 1200, the engine bay on that one's pretty gunky, rusted up, and I've already got the carbs pulled on it. As you'll see in this video, if you watch my previous video, I already got them rebuilt. So if you watch this video, we're gonna put them back in and see if we can get this thing going. This one here, the XL, I actually had running back in June. Literally put fresh gas in it and a battery, and the freaking thing started after sitting for, I think the guy said these were sitting for almost 10 years. I'll have a video of them both running, and then we'll get them out on the water, see how they do. As long as they do a good job. I've never wrenched on a jet ski a day in my life, so I have basic mechanical know-how maybe, but we'll see where it gets us. I'm gonna start on the blue one first because I know that one needs the most work, and then we'll switch over to the XL and go from there. All right, now to put these carburetors into this ski over here. I don't have my fuel lines for the carb, the 1/4 inch diameter, so I'm gonna run those once I get them in here, but so I'm kind of just waiting on parts. But I'm gonna stick these in here with new gaskets, the spacer. I vacuumed out what I could. The inside of this thing is horrendous, man. It was sitting with water in it for a while. But I'll put the spacer on first and catch back up. Okay, got my spacer on with the gasket installed. There's only one way these can go on, so you can't really screw that up. I'll put one more gasket and then the carburetors. I'll catch up when I'm there. Carburetors are all in. Got my fuel line in finally, so got all that ran. I have this oil pump cable right here is sticking, so I have rigged up some simple duct tape here, just for a startup, and just to see if the thing runs, man. I don't want to wait on a cable. I've tried to lube it and whatnot, but I can't seem to get that to stop sticking. So at least with this, when I pull the throttle, it'll ain't even gonna do it. So I might be just sticking wide open with the oil, but I'm pretty sure that's not gonna hurt anything. It's just gonna be running it rich. I don't know, maybe foul the plugs eventually, but I'm just gonna do it to make sure this thing's running, and then if I gotta break it back apart, I will. No big deal. But so got the carbs all in, everything's buttoned up. Next step, I'm going to get the air box on, then the exhaust, and we will see if we can get this thing fired up. Starting with the air box, it's gonna go gasket side to the carburetors. Air box is on. With this intake here, you're going to want to wiggle this part of the air box into this first before you start trying to snap these clips on. Also, all the hardware for this is a 10mm, as where's your carburetor bolts are 10mm also, except for these Allen heads here that bolt on. So they make it simple with that, but man, is it tight in here. Really, really tight. All right, next thing, we're going to be tackling the exhaust here, and I will update you as that goes. Got the exhaust in. I really had to wrestle this thing in here. It was not wanting to line up with any of these bolts over here. And I kept having an issue with the gasket to get it on there, but finally got it very tight in there. There is a hose right down here you need to connect, a hose right back there that you need to connect. Oh, and yeah, this one down here, it's on this coupler. If you rotate it, it's, well, you can see it's right down there. So those are the three you need to connect to get this thing off and on. And then the bolts on this side. So we're gonna button up the rest of the exhaust and get that on and keep moving forward. All right, got the rest of the exhaust on, got it all buttoned up here. Get your connection down here to your water box right there. And it's pretty simple here. This thing just bolts right up. Not a big deal at all. Got the plugs all hooked up. We're gonna see if this thing runs. I'm just gonna hook a battery to it right now. I'm not gonna put the case and bracket all together just until I figure out what's going on with it. So we'll get that on video and we'll see if it fires off. Okay, so I got the whole thing back together. Got it plugged in. Found out this thing has a D plate in it from the research, and a bunch of dudes helped me on the internet. This is actually a chip, and I was all kinds of confused. I took this thing apart 4 months ago, so I didn't remember, like, this thing must have been tied up, this sensor here. But anyways, new problem, when I hook a battery to this thing, this is what it's doing. So this is the sound it's making as soon as it's got power. So now I gotta try to figure that out. I don't know what's going on with that thing. But if I unplug this little blue wire, it'll quit. And I had a warning light on my dash. Now that's gone away too. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this thing will run with that unplugged. And I can't seem to find a whole lot of insurance on, or not insurance. Can't seem to find a whole lot of information on this thing. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna ask the Facebook group. Those guys help out a lot. So we'll see. All right, so new plan. Determined I do have spark. I do not think I'm getting fuel. Pulled the plugs, put some fuel in the cylinder. So we'll see what happens here. Fuel problem. So now to diagnose that. I'll report back when I figure it out. Got her smoking, guys. That's just a clog in one of the fuel lines. Sounds a little choppy. I don't know if it just needs to be random. I saw some bad fuel. I gotta fix this cable down here. It's definitely sticking. Got the blue one going. Still gonna get some more parts for it. Gonna do spark plugs, fuel filter, and man, that oil injection pump up front is just so hard to get to, and I'd really like to replace the lines on that. A few little things for that, and then we'll take it out, rip it, and if everything seems good, just start get new decal, seat cover, and make that thing look new. I'll need to get a gauge cluster eventually, and we'll be in business. So now I'm kind of turning my attention to this one. Now this one runs XL760, and what I'm going to do now is in here, I'm going to replace all these fuel lines up in here. And I mean, the carbs could probably be rebuilt, but man, it idles perfectly fine. There's no hesitation. It takes off. It runs wide open fine. So we'll give it a water test and see. Probably put plugs in here too, just for now, and we'll see how it acts. And if I need to rebuild them, I will. But man, right now it's just fine. I mean, literally all we did to this one was put a battery and fresh gas in it. It's crazy. So I'll get cranking on these and report back to y'all. Got two fuel lines coming off, or two oil lines rather, coming off this. I'm gonna do one at a time. I'm also gonna replace the line coming from the reservoir. That one I just figured out is leaking. I didn't notice any oil in here the last time we started it, so there's a puddle down there, so I'd say it's leaking pretty bad. But the fuel lines look pretty good. I was just checking all those. Even the ones that go up from the pitcock down to the fuel filter. I'll also order a fuel filter for this thing and run them like that. But we'll get these things replaced, get it looking new, and we'll show you when we're done here. Oil lines are replaced. Got Tygon lines on those. The one from the reservoir, I did not have, I think that's like a 3/8 inner diameter, and I did not have anything like that other than fuel line. So I only got 1/4 inch inner diameter Tygon, and that's what I assumed that was. It was not. So I just put fuel line on it. I'm sure it'll probably be fine. Better than what was on there anyway. Yeah, the lines that came out of it were sticks, absolute sticks. So I think those might have been leaking more so than the one coming off the reservoir. But it was really easy to do. No big issues at all. And like I said, fuel filter on this thing, and we're gonna run it. Same with the other things. We're just waiting on some parts, so I'm gonna slap this back together. Getting a new battery for it today. And next video we'll be out on the water ripping these things, having a good time. Hopefully not getting towed back. But this thing was kept under cover, unlike the 1200, and it was just in a lot better shape. It's so much easier to work on. Insanely easier to work on than that freaking 1200, man. It's a mess. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. We'll have everybody out, the whole family, and we'll be ripping these things. So